Portland Eastern, remember, if you don't have a vote, you don't have a say. So enumerate today. I sat Buchanan are the right man for the job. Remember, I'm now go thief and him now go rob. East Portland, Buchanan is running. I thought I told you that the comet is coming. Don't? Oh, I'm out.
Me, Sherry and Camilla Lewis now vote back for Labour right. First time I like my votes, I for Labour right. Years, my mother and my family, whole generation, I run back a Labour right, I run back a Labour right. I'm going to see what they run back a Labour right for. I'm going to eat that me at 22 years of age and I'm not afford. When you said no party to make a difference, no party, when you said no party to make a difference, you know. But me sit down and pray and watch the local difference and go back and think about it. My mother run back a JLP. For now 1 foot before she dead. And if she forget a book voucher, a PNP must come gear it. I never see a JLP MP come gear it. I never. Them come on me here, come take me out about voting. I'm like, you must go to my family, my day at Labour. I'm going to vote for Labour right, like a big baboon. Go vote for them and I see what I get. You know what I want to come do? Bring in a clap bag like me, tell me some hungry. 2 pound of rice, 2 pound of flour, 1 set of mackerel, 1 big bowl of beef in a clap bag come again. I say, I not ask you. I don't want nothing from PNP, but me not ask you free of cost. Me go to PNP, I don't want $1. Any Labour right MP come and me yard, me a throw steel piece back. Oh no, I not ask you no. I say, make for you come in my yard, you'll have to forget fuck. Me a throw piece back, I not ask you. Me ear to no bad. Me ear to no. I dying if a JLP step down to the country completely so. Right down, come on. All I look at done said, either people are run back on or I'm going to feel like say, I'm just a laugh. I run back on a system, it not get no better. I harder, it get harder. I don't realize, I'm not going to blind to it. I don't run back at them. I'm there with people comments under the video and talk them for my son up and out to mama. I'm not afraid of nobody. I wait for Uno. I wait for the JLP MP who come at me and come tell me about come vote. I wait to know with peace. I ask you. Any family member me have, I'm going to go for JLP, and you can't tell all English, so you can't beg me $5. If I soon are dead, I'm not going to $1. As some art go cool, I'm not going to nothing, you can't get nothing from me. Nothing, I'm not going to. Not even ice me to you can't get from me, I'm not asking you. I chew that to me eat Labour rights.
The young people them are wise up now. The young people them realize say the Prime Minister is nothing but a trickster. The Prime Minister is nothing but a person who come around and make empty promises to the peoples of Jamaica and then turn him back on them. The young people them realize that the Prime Minister is nothing but a criminal dressed up in a jacket and tie. We are rob the poor people them. We are thief poor people money. The young people them realize that the Prime Minister mean Jamaica no good. The Prime Minister is just for himself and his friends and family, and him cares zero about the people of Jamaica. And that is why the people them wise up right now and decide say them no want to see no Labour right. Them no want to hear nothing from Labour right, and they will not vote Labour right again. And people, if you don't agree with the people them, then like up the video. Make we get this video to 2,000 likes and share the video as well. Make the undecided voters them realize what I go and say the young people them are change over to PNP because the government of Jamaica is a wicked man. He is a cruel man, a corrupt man, and a thieving Prime Minister. So share the video, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Also, I sat Buchanan over there in Portland, Georgia. Ono na si Vybz Kartel a endorse I sat Buchanan. Me know say I sat I go give them a whipping. PNP are stronger than ever. So bless up to my viewers and my subscribers them. Me hope everybody having a blessed and a wonderful day. Now my viewers and my subscribers, remember, in everything you do, always put God first. In every and any situation, just always remember to call upon God. Always remember to pray, because a prayer day keep the devil away. Now my viewers and my subscribers, we have a lot coming up inside this update, so you definitely don't want to miss none. So watch the video until the end. And remember, leave a like on this video, give it a thumbs up, and leave your honest opinion down below in the comment section. Make we run the intro and come back. We soon forward. So welcome back to my viewers and my subscribers them. Big up to all of my viewers, big up to all of my subscribers them. We continually support the channel and I help the channel to grow. Now, remember to leave a like on this video. Remember to give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you're a new viewers, first time on my channel, then please subscribe to my channel and turn on the post notification bell so whenever we drop new content, you will be first to be notified. Share the content with a friend, a family, a loved one. Share it on your social media platform. So now my viewers and my subscribers, the people of Jamaica have now come to realize that we are dealing with a wicked and an evil prime minister. One that cares zero about us, the people of Jamaica. One that take taxpayers' money and charity money and enrich himself and then laugh after us and try to hold down the Integrity Commission and make it look like I say them not say nothing about what is going on inside of this country. Now, we the people of Jamaica have to stand up. We can't just talk, We have to stand up and we 2 foot them and ensure that this man doesn't get another term. We have to stand up and we 2 foot them and show this man say, listen, the people of Jamaica will not stand up to your bull crap anymore. We are walk away from you. We are step away from you. We are reject you. I'm only hope say some of these labor rights with knowledge, wisdom and understanding can come to realization. Say this man mean them no good. This man is all for himself. A man all for himself. Him no care about uno. So why uno care so much about him? Why uno give him uno vote? When you look and see this man have the whole SSL money pack up in a bank account and one poor woman in a prison and serve time for SSL money. And it sure say 147,000 US dollar transfer to Andrew Wallace bank account. But yet still Juan Pantan after the in a lockup a serve time. She have the in a lockup a serve time while Andrew Wallace out there and live free. And the other is a people them that took the money out of SSL are there living free while the poorest one out of the lot, Joan Pantan, after the behind bars, a suffer. People only need to wake up and realize what's going on.
God has already pulled Jamaica from his grasp, meaning the Prime Minister's grasp. So like Samson, he's shaking himself as at other time, not realizing that God has not only left him, but has removed Jamaica from his grasp. But today is the day that it is now official and will begin to manifest. If he holds on to the reins of power, everything will crumble around him. I'm going to say it one more time. If he holds on doggedly, stubbornly to the reins of power of this nation, everything will collapse around him, just shatter around him. And so it's an open call. No prejudice, straight word from God that it is time for him to step aside. Jamaica must repent as well. 3 consecutive days, because there are others who will be exposed on both sides. God is a merciful God, but he has already made the decision certain changes, and there's nothing they can do to stop that. But he will have mercy in terms of certain consequences. So as the kingdom of Israel, the nation of Israel was ripped from the hand of Saul so has Jamaica been ripped from the hand of the current Prime Minister. Mark that down. And if he tries to hold on out of pride or whatever other ways or motives, the Lord, by virtue of the fact that he has now withdrawn himself, there's no grace there. Things are just going to crumble around him and make his leadership untenable, tedious, and impossible. Watch and you will see. So I pray he will choose the way, not a way, but the way out. That is to step aside, continue his repentance. There needs to be a public aspect too of that repentance. And then the God we serve, you the same one that he has turned his back on, will have mercy.
My viewers and my subscribers, let me tell you something. God not like ugly. And you see, based on what is going on in Jamaica, based on how the Prime Minister angle the country, I know say God a go shape Jamaica. Because this man is a dictator, a bully, and a controlling freak. And him behave as if him a God. And let me tell you something. God not like ugly. But people, me I go play a audio from Dian Jackson Miller. I explain to you about the whole Integrity Commission process and all of that, people. So I want to take a listen, take a look, and leave an honest opinion down below in the comment section. Remember to leave a like on this video, alright?
His ability to make a more comprehensive and final assessment of Mr. Holiness's assets, liabilities, and income. In other words, the director was not in a position to determine what portion of Mr. Holiness's income was used for living and other expenses, and therefore not available for asset acquisition. They also said the question surrounding use of funds belonging to Positive Jamaica Foundation to partially purchase a bond worth $94,000 and the operation of companies with which Mr. Holiness is/was associated and which he named as source of funds to acquire particular assets would need to be resolved by the relevant entities before the director can make a final conclusion on the question of illicit enrichment. They say significant financial transactions were seen among three of the companies, Imperium, Positive Media, and Estate Bridge, and more particularly, the evidence indicates deposits of over $473 million and withdrawals of $427 million between 2020 and June 2023. Now, they spoke of this bond. It's a $94,000 bond that Mr. Holiness acquired in September 2019, and the director says only about $61,892.98 was funded by him. The rest was taken from funds apparently belonging to a registered charity, Positive Jamaica Foundation, of which Mr. Holiness was a director. And the issue here is source of funds. Where did the funds come from to buy the bond? The director says Mr. Holiness's indication that the full portion of the bond was erroneously attributed to him by NCB Capital Markets is misleading and unsupported by the evidence. So they mention a number of issues. They said the conclusion is based on one, Mr. Holiness had throughout the life of the bond reported it to the commission in his statutory declarations as his asset. It was never indicated it didn't belong fully to him. Two, Mr. Holiness, before buying the bond, had entered into a written bond purchase agreement clearly stating the value of the bond. 3, NCB Capital Markets said that in buying the bond, they acted on Mr. Holiness's written instructions and that he didn't raise any concerns in relation to any contrary intention. Concerns were only raised by Mr. Holiness in June 2024 when Capital Markets made contact with him to ascertain source of funds for the purchase. They say 4, he got a regular statement showing the value of the bond, and 5, when proceeds from another bond were erroneously deposited in his account, He reported it to NCB Capital Markets. They made the adjustments. There were no indication at the time that there was an error in respect of the $94,000 bond. And they said 6, when the bond was called in 2020, principal and interest were paid to Mr. Holiness. And they said the asset in totality was treated as belonging to him in every material respect up to June 2024, when the director's investigations led to inquiries being made of Mr. Holiness as to source of funds. Mr. Holiness's explanation in this regard must therefore, says the director, be rejected and deemed to be unsatisfactory. The director concludes that the funding of the company Positive Media, in which Imperium, which is wholly owned by Mr. Holiness, was a majority shareholder before being replaced by one of Mr. Holiness's sons in 2022, they said the funding of that company raises concerns as to the true nature of the company's operations. This because they said Mr. Holiness's explanation about the funding of the company, he said Positive Media is funded by Imperium, but the director says the evidence suggests that Positive Media was funding Imperium rather than Imperium funding Positive Media. Amounts totaling over 70 million were transferred from Positive Media to Imperium and over 50 million from Imperium to Positive Media during the period. A surplus of about 20 million remained in Imperium's account, and that will need to be ventilated, he says, by the relevant authority. The director concludes that the filing of nil income tax returns for the years 2021 and 2022 on the part of Imperium Estate Bridge and Positive Media in circumstances where the companies reported income and other business activities in their audited financial statements poses significant tax compliance concerns. And they say that the director further concludes that the filing of a nil income tax return and income tax return with income of $355,100 by Green Emerald in 2021 and 22 in circumstances where this company had provided short-term loans to Positive Media of over 20 million and appeared to be in operation also raises serious tax compliance concerns. They say it's accepted and understood that a company, though operating at a loss, may be in a position to offer loans. But the issue here is whether the companies had any income and expenses over the period which were not disclosed to Tax Administration of Jamaica. The director further concludes that this conduct on the part of the principals of Imperium, Estate Bridge, Positive Media and Green Emerald prima facie, on the face of it, constitutes a fundamental undermining of the tax laws and particularly a breach of Section 99(1) of the Income Tax Act. They go on to say the director concludes that the appointment of Mr. Norman Brown, a business associate of Mr. Holiness, as chairman of the Urban Development Corporation and the Housing Agency of Jamaica poses significant conflict of interest concerns, since both entities fall under Mr. Holiness's portfolio as Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Mr. Brown is a minority shareholder in Estate Bridge and has made the single largest shareholder contribution to this company since its incorporation. The director does say there is no direct evidence to suggest any improprieties on the part of Mrs. Holiness and Brown. Then the director raises concerns about the conduct of Barita in granting a $50 million loan to Imperium, saying it raises several prudential concerns. This in relation to the fact that this loan was supposed to be secured and was in fact unsecured. And they say collateral that should have been provided for the loan either did not exist in the name of the borrower or did not exist at the material time, and a legal mortgage which should have been registered in favor of Barita was not registered. Now, Barita said they had a practice of not formally securing loans by way of registration in respect of premium clients, but the director said that was unsatisfactory because the documents had certain fundamental errors which would almost certainly render the security unregisterable. Recommendations. The director recommended that the report be referred to the Director of Public Prosecutions on that issue of making a false statement that in relation to the accounts, we've dealt with that. In relation to the filing of nil tax returns on the part of Imperium Estate Bridge, Positive Media and Green Emerald, in circumstances where these entities appear to be engaged in business activities, the director recommends that a copy of this report be referred to Tax Administration Jamaica for the necessary assessment to be made and where required for appropriate penalties to be imposed. Having regard to questions around the funding and operations of Positive Media, Positive Jamaica Foundation and Green Emerald, the director recommends that a copy of this report be referred to the Financial Investigation Division for investigation to be conducted. The finding of the director's investigation raises significant questions around the income generating capacity of the companies relative to the funds which have been identified in their accounts. In the case of Positive Media, the loans issued / transfers made to Imperium. In the case of Green Emerald, the issues were the loans issued to Positive Media, and in the case of Positive Jamaica Foundation, that was the circumstances surrounding the alleged use of funds belonging to Positive Jamaica as a partial source of funds for that $94,000 bond. The director says his powers and limited resources and the exigencies in relation to remit and time do not allow him to sufficiently ventilate this issue. In relation to the finding that Mr. Norman Brown, a business partner of Mr. Holiness, chairs the UDC and the housing agency which are within Mr. Holiness's portfolio, the director recommends that a copy of this report be sent to the Ethics Committee of Parliament to determine the appropriateness of a minister appointing a business associate or personal connection to a public board under their portfolio. And he says the committee should also consider if there are enough safeguards in place to deal with any conflict of interest issues. In relation to Barita and their handling of the $50 million loan to Imperium, the director recommends that the report be referred to the Financial Services Commission for consideration as to whether those practices are consistent with the spirit and scheme of the Financial Services Commission Act. He's also recommending an audit of Barita's operations to determine whether they're complying with the law, industry standards, and terms and conditions of their license. As a last recommendation, the director says Parliament and the Cabinet Secretary should look at the issue of parliamentarians and public officers buying shares and other equities in public corporations as well as private companies which fall under the regulatory regime of the government of Jamaica. They say without prejudicing the right of any citizen to buy shares or invest, the director recommends that laws and guidance be implemented to mitigate conflict of interest and abuse of authority for financial gain and other actions which may amount to insider trading. It cannot be overlooked that parliamentarians and public officers, by virtue of their respective positions, will come into confidential information from time to time having to do with investment opportunities arising from government intervention and policies which they could use to their advantage or to benefit another. It ends by saying, having regard to the above findings and recommendations of this report, it cannot be ignored that as Prime Minister and Head of Government, Mr. Holiness has a higher duty to the public to ensure that the laws of Jamaica are maintained and that he bears in mind and acts according to established public virtues which have been in existence since time immemorial and which have been succinctly encapsulated in the Nolan Principles of Public Life. The import of the Nolan Principles is that those who hold public office should embody the virtues of selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. This, of course, the report says, is not to question Mr. Holiness's commitment to the virtues mentioned, except to say that a number of the findings of this report are antithetical to those virtues. Wow, that's a lot, and you can hear my voice is almost going. Okay, so that's the summary, conclusions, and recommendations of the report. As I mentioned, there's still a whole lot of information in the report. I am still going through it in terms of the body of it to see what else is there. I'm sure I'm going to be making other videos on this issue because this is, of course, an important developing story. The Prime Minister responded to the Integrity Commission report in Parliament.
I have been involved in political life for more than 30 years. Yes, more than 30 years. And I have been elected in this House for 27 years. It always gives me a sense of great pride, but also a sense of humility to consider that, I grew up in a 2-bedroom board house at 56 Cumberland Road, just up from the Grassyard Market in Spanish Town. I don't wear my background as a badge or try to exploit it or exploit my humble beginnings for political sympathy. I don't do it. I don't do it because I believe in working for what you have, regardless of where you come from. And Mr. Speaker, I have worked hard. People just see the achievements. They don't know the hours, the nights, the hard work. They don't know. I have worked hard, wisely, and honestly to achieve whatever I have. I never had a gold spoon, and I have never depended on the public purse.
All I know is that Andrew is one of the liarest man in the world. Remember, Andrew Wallace's wife saying, a fish fry then keep, for make up money, for keep them wedding, And Andrew saying going to politics with over $40 million, Andrew saying going to politics with over $40 million. That alone should have make you know that this man is evil. That alone should have make you know that this man is nothing but a big liar. That alone should have make you know that this man cannot be trusted. Because remember, his wife said they have to keep fish fry. In other words, they have to pick up money for married. But yet still, this man can stand in front of Jamaica and tell a lie, say, him going to politics with over $40 million. A broke man, a man who grew up round us in a 1-bedroom and then 2-bedroom. Piss in a chimney. And him same one, same going to politics with over $40 million. Be careful of that man. That man is evil. That man cannot be trusted. Remember me telling you. But people stay to talk down below in the comment section. And as usual, remember to leave a like on this video. Give this video a thumbs up. And remember, we are on our way to our 100k subscribers. So if you're not subscribed yet, now is the right time for you to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell for new content. Alright? Remember, love is the answer. Bless up.